that was my favorite.
So yeah, this is very finely divided hematite, and it's probably partly hematite cemented. But also, you see this little bit of sparkle in there?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Very tiny grain, very tiny flakes.
Indeed.
But can you make a guess at what that might be?
Mica, maybe? I don't know.
Muscovite, yes, muscovite mica.
Okay.
Now, this also contains feldspar, but you can't really see the feldspar. It's too fine grained. I think the last time I was here, I did manage to find one grain that was just barely big enough to make a guess that it's feldspar. But feldspar and muscovite have just about the same resistance to weathering. They're both down there at the bottom of the periodic the Bowen reaction series. And so if you find the muscovite, that's generally taken as an indicator that you have a feldspar-rich sandstone, which is the definition of arkose. So this has been studied. This is an arkose, but even without seeing the feldspar in it, the muscovite sparkle tells you that it almost certainly is arkose, even if you can't see the feldspar. And this is a river rock. This was deposited in a floodplain in the bottom of a rift valley. I mean, if you've got a ready-made rift valley where the ground is already sank down, that's where the river's going to flow. Rivers generally like to flow in low places. So rift valleys commonly have rivers running down them. The upper part of the Rio Grande Valley in this country is a river. And in California, the Owens River flows down the Owens Valley, which, if you possibly remember, is a rift valley in California. So now here, this is not a full graben. This is a half graben. Because what happened here is that one side sank down and the other one just slants upward. It's sort of bent downward. Now, if we had stopped at stop 4,
You mean 5?
5,
Yes. The one with the digging, right?
the one we have to dig.
Yes, that's 5.
Yeah, that's 5. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It used to be stop 4 until I added the serpentinite stop.
Okay.
Anyway, if we had stopped there, that's the very thin edge of where it's bent down. That's the thin edge of the Rift Valley. If you dig down and the pieces of rock that you find is pebbles. It's a conglomerate. And the pebbles that you find are pebbles of Mather Gorge Formation. That's the one that lies underneath. But there's a little bit of time difference between them. The Mather Gorge is over 500 million years, maybe between 500 and 600 million years. The exact date is a little hard to state because there isn't anything suitable for giving an exact date to it. We can put an upper and a lower level. But we know it's in the order of 500 or 600 million years. This is about 180 million years. Okay. So there's this is closer to modern than the Mather Gorge is. And of course, there's no deformation here at all, because this is even post-Appalachian. You had the continents coming together and causing metamorphism and folding. We get to see that our next outcrops out by the gorge, out by the mountain, Sugarloaf Mountain. That's Appalachian that's been folded. That happened about 280 million years ago. This is 180. And so all that happened here was that it rifted and sank down. In the sandstone, nothing has happened to it except that it's been dropped down a little bit. This is dinosaur age. You could, if you were really lucky, I don't believe anyone has ever found dinosaur footprints here, but it's possible. In a similar rock in the Connecticut Valley, just south of Hartford, which is just exactly the same sort of thing. It's another graben that produced when the continents pulled apart again. There, I think I mentioned to it in a lecture, the state of Connecticut was putting up a new set of office buildings just south of Hartford. And when they excavated there in the sandstone, they found thousands and thousands of dinosaur footprints. Beautiful. They scrapped the plans for the new buildings, put up a geodesic dome, and just excavated the footprints in place. So you can stop there now and see the footprints just as the dinosaurs left them. They didn't remove them. They didn't put them in a museum. They're still right where they were 180 million years ago. So it's an interesting place to stop. Um, Here, I do not know of dinosaur footprints that have been found. However, dinosaurs have been found here. Not here, but in Maryland. Actually in somewhat younger rocks, but still Mesozoic. If it's dinosaurs, it is Mesozoic.
Right.
Because the dinosaurs were wiped out at the end of the Mesozoic, except, of course,
Birds.
birds,
Yeah.
which really are dinosaurs. You knew that, didn't you? Yeah. I've told it to you several times.
Yeah.
Ah, good. Most people don't realize that a hummingbird is just a very small dinosaur.
Well, you wouldn't really think that.
No, you wouldn't.
Heck, look at chickens. We're eating dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yes. As a matter of fact, as I've said, a Tyrannosaurus is more closely related to a chicken than it is to a
I
Brontosaurus.
just realized something hilarious. You know, dino nuggies? Chicken?
Oh my
You're
God.
eating dinosaurs.
No.
I just blew your mind.
You came
And
back
I've been
to the
attacked
original.
by dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
because
Near the nesting ground of terns on the beach, some species of tern will come down and dive at you. And I've actually been I've been stepped on by a dinosaur.
Why?
and what is the name of
The
said
story
dinosaur?
of that one,
What is the name of said dinosaur?
ruffed grouse.
It's always
Oh,
gross.
man.
Well, yeah, I was
Grouse.
taking a friend of mine on a wildlife safari in New England. He had never been east before. He's Californian.
Oh,
And one thing he wanted to get a picture of was a ruffed grouse. I told him the odds of getting a picture of it was very small.
and Carmen
They're
hit you.
there,
Carmen hit you.
but we were in the coast of Maine, Acadia National Park, and on a little gravel road. He went one way, I went the other. And as I was standing in the middle of the road, a ruffed grouse came out of the woods and started pecking at my feet. And I called my friend, trying to do it sort of quietly so I won't scare the grouse away. And I got down and lay down in the ground. So if he's going to be that cooperative, I'm going to get a close up. But I didn't get a good picture of him because he hopped on my back. He stomped me. However, my friend showed up, and I do have his picture to
Okay.
demonstrate that I am telling the truth. So I can honestly say I was stomped by a dinosaur.
That's awesome.
No. Hey, let's see what you best. I guess take the trail out.
Well, the trail rallies away.
Hammer again.
I think you
Oh, they
did.
have it. Oh.
Ah, yeah.
So Dennis can say, if I had a hammer, I'd hammer in
Okay,
the
got it.
morning. I'd hammer in the evening. All over the place. Got a hammer and sickle too.
that a fire here?
Yep. Oh.
Basically, finding how the color. There's probably the way that happens. Now, this kind of sandstone that is arkose because it has feldspar in it. I challenge you. Let's see feldspar in that rock. No, you're not going to see this.
Yeah, but
If you
also
had
your
a
weight
thin
would probably
section,
make it fall.
it turns out feldspar is very easy to get. Thin section. A thin section is 0.2 meters thick.
It helps mitigate that.
You do it by polishing down the polishing wheel, then taking that polished section, polished part of it,
Right,
gluing
you're
it
going
to
from
a
the side
glass
so
plate,
we
and then grinding down the other side to 0.03 millimeters. A little thinner than a sheet of paper. And when you do that, it's now transparent. You look at it with a microscope at high power. Right? The feldspar. But you can see muscovite in it. A little tiny bit of sparkle. That's muscovite. Now the first stop we were at is the Potomac terrain in which they call the Potomac College. Because that rock was that big on 500 and 600 years ago. When North America stable and had everything going on. This was Africa. And it was pasted on here by the end of the Paleozoic.
So what were they mining here?
Sandstone.
This sandstone right here?
This sandstone is what they this is the rock that they used to build the Smithsonian Museum. You go down on the wall in the Natural History Museum. It's the same rock. This is the quarry where they got it. So we get to look at this rift valley here, but you could do the same thing. Most of the Bay of Fundy between Maine and Nova Scotia. That's the largest of the rift valleys. Connecticut River, Connecticut Valley, from Massachusetts down to Connecticut. The Newark Basin in New Jersey, another rift valley. Gettysburg Basin, that one extends down to Frederick. I can see that. And then this one is down to Virginia, a couple more in the Carolinas, one in Florida, except that it's buried in the 2,000 feet limestone that we don't get to see. Oh, yeah. Have you ever driven across the George Washington Bridge?
Yeah, it's really big.
And there's a cliff on the other side. That cliff is the Palisades sill. The sills stuck in between the sandstone layers. Yeah, and that's the edge of the Newark Triassic Basin. And at the far end, the uppermost the rocks that you get to see, they're dipping back to the west. So as you drive west, you're getting higher and higher rocks. Just before you leave the rock outcrop, you get to see a rock that looks like this on top of the black basalt dike sill. So you get the sill, and then the top of the sill, and then you've got the red beds. Except that it's
What
all
if-
baked.
What if it just
Contact
no, I
metamorphism.
don't
You go a
wanna.
little farther,
It
it isn't baked
Yeah,
anymore.
of course.
We get to see the same
So I'm
thing,
saying.
and there used to be a couple of big
That's
chunks
ironic, we
of
just do it all.
diabase
I
here,
don't
which
want
is
that
just
to fall.
4 grains of salt. But I haven't been able to find it, and I wonder if they've carted it off because it was fairly obvious when I was here before. It's been maybe 3 or 4 years since I've been here. Because I have 3 separate field trips that I take people on. And I cycle them around, right? And they seem to have moved the rocks since I last was here.